All right, hello and welcome to day 2 of my 31-day not pour challenge, 31-day art challenge. I am, as you can see, today is a split pour day, and I'm going to do a funnel pour, which I didn't get to do last time. So I'm excited, and I'm actually going to use the same colors as I used yesterday because I want to test them again because I'm not extremely happy with how they dried. So I want to see if doing it with an actual base is going to help that at all. So I'm still going to be using the same colors, most of the same colors, with which are Artist Loft and Folk Art. I don't think I'm going to use the oh my gosh, Master's Touch brands. This is Viridian from Master's Touch, and this is white from Artist Loft that I pre-mixed myself. And so I'm going to hold my finger on this, and I'm going to start pouring. Move these out of the way. So move these up closer, and we'll see how this turns out. Okay. So I'm just gonna pour this. I'm gonna pour some. That's a little bigger. See how I'm gonna put some gold in between sometimes. Still a beachy feel. And some dark. Going to do this a few times and put this in between the split, and we'll see what happens. And if I need to do a second funnel. Like I said, I'm not super impressed with it. I like mixing my own, but I'm giving it another shot to see what happens. Okay, so I'm gonna put this here, and it's starting to pour out already, which is fine. I am going to add some of my white around this side. No, actually, yes. Take this out. Add a little bit of white because I want it to be underneath the color. See, and I did have to, I mixed this quite a bit, that color, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, so with the funnel pour, you just kind of lift it up a little bit as you release some of the colors kind of underneath, and that will hopefully create some really cool cells. I think I might want to bring it back up here. do, so I'm going this way. Alright. Okay, there is quite a bit left over in here. So I'm gonna just pour it in there so it doesn't. Okay. So one thing that I didn't do with yesterday's painting is I didn't torch, which I'm definitely going to do now before I spread anything. I do a little bit of tilting. I also have somewhere in here some gloves, or a glove. There's one. I don't have another one. Apparently I do not. Rude. So, off goes the ring again. Okay, so I'm gonna move this out of the way. And I can see some fun stuff happening here. And I'm going to see if there's any more. Oh, good. Okay. I found another glove. This one's going to get a little messy. Okay. So, now I'm going to just stretch this out a little bit. Some time to show some of the colors and get some of the extra paint off because there's quite a bit of paint on here. Okay, I'm gonna move these so I can turn. Over for you. So you can see the tilt on this side. You know, I am not a huge fan of the pre-mixed paints. I was really trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, but I am not. They really separate from each other. Like they're not mixing well with each other. They're not being cohesive. So that's kind of creating some issues when they're not all the same thickness. Then the colors run over each other instead of flowing together. So that's what is happening with some of the colors, is they're trying to float over the top of each other, which is fine, but it gives it an effect that I'm not looking for, although this is starting to look really great. I do like the way that this is turning out, thankfully. It's just not how I wanted it to turn out. So I'm trying to clean off some of my gloves so I can do a little bit more with this, because I do want to do some embellishing, which is also something I didn't really get to do last time, because I did kind of different, I tried to stick with some basics. So I'm going to get, where is it? That's kind of big. I don't have my smaller palette knife, but maybe I will. I just want to maybe, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use my handy dandy straw to do some stuff. I don't trust my breath to do it, so that's why I'm doing it with straw. And also, I'm short. Let's try this side. Yeah, see, I really poor lung capacity. So if I can focus it in the straw, it works better. I don't really like what was doing there, so I definitely wanted to cover that part up. Okay, I'm liking that more. I am really like that. That looks really cool. I just, when it does that, sometimes it tends to not dry as well. If you stick around to the end, I will show you the dried result of my painting from yesterday. And that corner didn't get, so we're just going to touch that up a little bit. Okay. So I think that I'm actually pretty happy with that. Yeah. Maybe I'm gonna move this a little bit. Soften that a little bit. Okay, I actually really do like this. I really like this. I'm happy with how it turned out. Now it just needs to dry this way. I am going to, there is a piece of, I'm going to torch some more. Now this is definitely one that does not create cells. There are no cells in here, which is fine. I'll definitely do some that have cells in them at some point. So like I said, I'm not going to always do acrylic pours, but I will mostly do acrylic pours because I love them. And this is pretty much the only time I get to do them, except for at my paint parties where I'm demonstrating. So it needs to be a little bit more here. And that was, so okay, I'm going to pause this and so I can bring you down for a close-up. All right, and here is what it looks like from my view, which I am definitely falling in love with more and more. By the way, this is a 10 by 20 inch canvas, which I really like using this because it's a different shape than I normally do. So one thing that you definitely want to do is you want to scrape the sides, which are because it keeps pulling the paint. as it continues to dry, and you don't want to change the composition too much. So if it's really liquidy, then it will tend to do it more. So I'm going to show you a close-up. It looks very oceany. It's very pretty. I really do like that. And there was some white that got in, which I really liked, especially like right there. That was really pretty that it got inside it too in a couple of spots. Looks really pretty. More I look at it, the more I'm enjoying it. Just hope it dries well. So there we go with that, and then we'll turn on the flash so you can see that there is the shimmeriness going on with just the gold. So then there's just little bits of it and strings of it here and there too, besides the bigger clumps. So it'll look really pretty, and I think I'm going to be brave and try resin with a couple of these, especially if they dry well. So there's that, and this is my favorite. This part right here is so pretty. It turned out really good. I'm really proud of it. That makes me happy, because, you know, all of mine don't always turn out very good. And that's okay. I'm still learning and trying to get better. All right, so there you have it, day 2 of my art challenge for March Art Madness. Come back and see me again tomorrow, and I will have a completely different painting to show you, or drawing, or whatever I decide to do. So, oh yeah, really quick here, let me show you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, is what I was about to say. Okay, this is my painting from yesterday. Don't really want to show you the rest of my house. So my problem was how it dried. It did give some texture to it. And let me put this, turn this flash off so you can actually see it. Okay, so I do like the texture from a creative standpoint because, you know, water and waves do have texture, but it's not how I wanted it to dry. I still love it. So that is painting number 1. That is all dry. And this is painting number 2, and hopefully it will dry really well. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.